Hi, this is Anita from the Dusty Roads podcast. As part of our blog, A Bus on a Dusty Road and the Dusty Roads podcast, one of the things we say is about living your life as a global citizen. So today I want to talk a little bit about what does it mean to be a global citizen? What exactly is when we say live your life as a global citizen? What does it mean? Well, at its core, global citizenship refers to the awareness of the interconnectedness of all people and the responsibility to contribute positively to the cultural community. All of us we have a national citizenship. I happen to be American, which is based upon, that's our legal status. That's my legal status is I hold a U.S. passport. But to be a global citizen means that you believe that you are, more or less a citizen of the world, which is very much which I believe, because I have lived overseas for almost all my adult life. In fact, all my adult life, I've lived overseas. So I very much consider myself a global citizen, a citizen of the world. I have friends from all over the world. Global citizen recognizes that the world's challenges, climate change, poverty, social injustice, and political instability require collective solutions. So, as a global citizen, you're not only, believe, in the world, but you're also an advocate for human rights. You believe in, engaging in global issues, and you seek to bridge the cultural divides through understanding and cooperation. And I think that's really the key there, is that as a global citizen, you're seeking to find a way. How can we have more understanding? How can we have more cooperation? How can we as a world begin to understand each other more? You might ask yourself, well, why does global citizenship matter in today's world? As I look at what's happening in the world today, and I look at, especially in my own country of America and many of the things which are happening there, which I personally find extremely disturbing of what's happening there. But I believe that there are some reasons why we need to all strive to be a global citizen. First of all, we have interconnected economies and societies. Whether we want to believe it or not, the world is flat. It was Thomas Friedman who wrote that book called The World is Flat many years ago and basically told how the internet would make the world flat. And it's true. Now you can have friends from all over the world. It used to be, before the internet, where you didn't really, have friends you had friends from your own little community, your own little life that you had around you. Those are kind of the people maybe people who came in to visit other people. But now today you can have friends and know people from all over the world. The world is interconnected. And as a world, we have global challenges. For example, one of the challenges we have is of course, climate change. Whether you believe or you don't believe in climate change, you can see that the climate is changing around the world. I myself grew up in Wisconsin, and I remember when I was young and I would go to school and it was cold all winter from October until April. We had snow on the ground. It was just the way that it is. Now today, many times in December and in parts of January, February, the snow will melt, or suddenly one day it will be 70 degrees. And the next day will be, it could be cold, or we'll have extreme cold weather followed by hotter, unseasonably hot weather. That is the whole effect of all the, global changes, I believe, with global warming. So, as a world, we have these global challenges. It's kind of like what I heard recently on a U.S. news station. They were talking about, some of the diseases going on in the world. And they said how disease knows no border. I think we all saw that with COVID-19, with coronavirus. We saw how it didn't really know a border and how it, affected, throughout the world, infected all the borders, that, pandemics, humanitarian crises, climate change are all things that basically, they don't know any borders. They are global challenges. As a global citizen, we can basically help to foster cross-cultural understanding. We can try to embrace diversity, engage and learn other perspectives. We can try to contribute to try to make the world a more peaceful place by promoting inclusivity and mutual respect. We can be expanding personal and professional opportunities. They can enjoy careers and educational advantages in a world that values cross-cultural competencies. Companies and organizations increasingly are seeking individuals or people who can basically be able to navigate diverse environments, speak multiple languages, and work effectively in international teams. Now, I want to point this out because I've been over here long enough to realize that not everyone can do this. I've seen many people come and live overseas and they just couldn't handle it. Or I've seen in many cases where the husband handled it, thrived, was doing really well. The wife could not handle it. In fact, the wife was so scared and worried, she just sat home all day and would do absolutely nothing, completely froze in an international setting. There are many benefits of being a global citizen, and I just want to talk about some of them. One would be there's an enhanced cultural awareness and empathy. As a global citizen, you become more culturally aware, you become more empathetic. You maybe begin to enjoy and understand other cultures, and you see yourself as a global citizen that you want to be able to develop a deeper understanding of humanity's shared experiences. You can have broader educational and careers prospects. As we mentioned before, companies might be looking for somebody who has some international perspective, someone who can work on cross-cultural teams, someone who can understand other teams. Greater social and political engagement. Being a global citizen encourages active participation in social and political issues, whether it's through voting, advocacy, volunteerism. Global citizens can help shape policies that address pressing global concerns. A global citizen can be personal growth and self-discovery, travel, learning new languages, engaging with diverse communities can lead to a personal transformation. You can go to other countries and you don't come out the same. That's what I've always said. You can engage with people from other cultures and learn something new that could change your life or, change your perspective on things that you once saw and realize that maybe it's not exactly the way I saw it. It may actually be more this way. Being a global citizen can enhance your personal and professional growth and relationships. So how do you become a global citizen? What are some things that you can do? Well, first of all, you can educate yourself on global issues. This is very important. Learn about global issues. Learn about the history, the culture of a country, society. I'm a very big person on history. I believe that we can learn a lot from history. Learn a new language or try to learn words of a new language. Learning a second or third language can improve not only your cognitive abilities, but they can also help you with cross-cultural communication and appreciation. Travel with a purpose. If you're going to go out and travel, don't just say, I'm just going to go lie on the beach. Maybe travel with a purpose. Travel with an open mind. Travel, in a study abroad program, a cultural exchange, or volunteerism. Maybe this can help build a connection and a deeper understanding of the world. Engage in cross-cultural experiences. Even if international travel is not an option, you can still learn about other countries and cultures and people, and you can benefit from that. One of my favorite magazines has always been the National Geographic. You can learn so much about the world there and about other people, places, and cultures. Support global causes. Contribute to international charities. Support fair trade. Advocate for human rights. Can be a meaningful way to become a global citizen. And this is even if you don't even leave your couch or your own home, that you can still support global causes and be an advocate for this global world that we live in. Leverage digital connectivity for good. Be on social media, digital platforms, share ideas, raise awareness, collaborate on global issues. Use technology responsibly to educate, to inspire, to empower for change. So, being a global citizen is more than just a concept. It's a mindset. And it doesn't really matter whether you travel or you don't travel. I've said this many, many times that being a global citizen doesn't mean that you necessarily have to travel. Being a global citizen means that essentially that you are saying, I care. I care about people of the world. I want to get to know people that are different than me. I want to be a bridge and not a wall. And I've talked about this many times of being a bridge, that being a cultural bridge and not putting up a cultural wall, instead saying, I want to get to know people from other cultures and to be able to understand them better. If you'd like to be able to learn more about what it means to be a global citizen, I've written a blog post entitled, "What Does It Mean to Be a Global Citizen? Definition and Benefits." We'll put a link in the description so that you'll be able to learn more and be able to discover more about what it means to be a global citizen. We hope that you'll join with us in living your life as a global citizen. We'd love to have you subscribe and be part of our community. And we thank you for being part of our community with us today.